as a strategy for anybody, 2.5 up, 3 or whatever, it becomes a mixed doubles and you have to communicate.
But I think it's hilarious is when I am going to hit a lob, I go lob.
For everybody on the court.
So they all know it's coming.
And if Natalie had a little bit more of me and I was a little bit more Natalie, we'd be where we're supposed to be.
We were like, what's beyond 5-0? Like,
come on. The Nala Pickleball Podcast. I'm Lauri Burgett.
I'm Natalie Fischer.
One day we should say you're me and I'm you and nobody will know.
Oh, okay.
I told you about the time I was coach and everybody just kept calling me Natalie all day. It was hilarious.
You could do a lot worse.
Was it the day after you gave me all your clothes?
Maybe. Maybe. Yes. So welcome. We're back. We're back. And I think every episode we add one subscriber.
Oh my God! Why do you keep saying
I don't
that?
know.
It's so funny.
It is funny.
Listen, I'm a loyal person, so I'm okay with a few. It's when it starts getting too many, I can't.
It's too much.
I can't cope. Now that is your forte. You can keep up.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So we thought we're going to do a little rapid fire questioning. So our producer's going to ask some questions of us, and we're going to try to answer them off the cuff.
That sounds so official.
Producer. I mean, it is. She's a professional.
She is a professional.
Let's go. What's the question?
And this is not a Q&A about us, right?
It's whatever comes. It's pickleball. So pickleball tips, pickleball stuff.
So,
let's go.
Okay, producer Cassie,
what you got?
Bring it. What you got?
So the first question is the top 3 tips for partner communication on somebody you might randomly play with. So, what is that called? Round robins. It left me for a minute. And then regular. So that would be me and
play.
You.
Yes.
So here's the thing. The other day when Natalie and I were having a conversation about why it was being ornery, I said we don't communicate enough, right? Oh, because this is what happened. So it just came back to me.
Oh, God.
I talk out loud. I do. Yeah? I talk out loud, and more so now because when I'm coaching, I say things all the time. Like when I'm watching people.
Yes.
I'd be like, you could come up. I say things out loud. So now I say things out loud like all the time.
Right.
And I think Natalie had hit the ball into the net. And I went, no.
That happens on occasion.
No, it doesn't happen but I said no, and she goes, quit pointing out my ball.
Yeah, I know I hit the ball in the net.
She's like, why are you pointing out my ball? And I was like, what? I really, that's not what happened. I swear to you. Like right now, it's not what happened. But it was probably just the carryover of me being ornery. So it's important, like the partner communication. And I told her, I'm like, I am just talking. And I say things out loud more. And I can tell you where it's actually helped a lot is out balls.
Oh.
Right?
Right.
So especially if somebody lobs, if they say, is it in or out? Because if you drop back, you're in your brain, you're kind of thinking, how far was I from the line? But you're not seeing it because you're watching the ball. So I really like somebody yelling. So, I mean, and part of that is just telling each other, hey, if it's being lobbed and it's in and could you just say it's in or it's out or yes or no? I mean, I think the simplest brand of communication is the easiest because this comes a lot when we're coaching. I believe that as a strategy for anybody, 2.5 up, 3 or whatever, it becomes a mixed doubles and you have to communicate. And as we've said in other episodes, you walk up to them and say, you have middle or whatever it is that, kind of the simpler stuff because middle is definitely everybody's little, what do they call it? Divorce alley.
Yeah. In the middle solves the middle solves the riddle or whatever. So, I mean, I think the communication, whether you're playing with a stranger or, so you kind of covered if you're working together and you're playing together, you have a much greater comfort level so you can say things. I would say if you're going and you're meeting somebody, you're going to a park, you're doing open play, you're whatever, you can go up and like Lauri said, I mean, you can say, hey, where do you like to play? I think that's always a good side because if they have a stronger backhand or whatever, if you're left side. So like when we play, I like to be on the left side of the court because I like to have my forehand in the middle.
Yeah, that's how we start. Our forehand is strong in the middle.
So we say that and then just say, hey, if you want to, let's talk or communicate or tell me where you want me to be. And I think as long as you're just open, there's somebody that we play with all the time and she's great, but and maybe I do this too. Sometimes like
Respect
everything
the
is
X
like,
thing?
no, not that, but it's more like yours. And you're like, wait.
It's too much.
Yeah, it's a lot. Like
yours, mine, yours, mine, yours. And like, yeah. And then after a while, you just focus on
that. And you're like, oh my God.
I don't think it's wrong.
No.
This actually came up in a forum that I'm in.
Okay.
Where there's like almost 1,000 people there.
Right.
It's almost too much. You're answering questions all the time. But it came up in a forum, and there's coaches in the forum, and there's students in the forum. So it is interesting to hear all those perspectives. So they use it. But I think, I remember when I first started playing, I would say go. Like one time I did that to you.
And it scared me.
And it scared her. But does it anymore? I think I said, does that bother you still? And you're like, no, it's fine.
I think it depends. Like if it's...
like it's not necessary maybe.
Yeah, and usually it's like to get to the line or whatever, like go, or I don't know.
No,
like,
it's actually for you to put it away.
Oh, well, see, I always say, so my favorite thing to say is end it.
Yeah, so apparently we don't have the communication.
Okay, next question.
No, it's true. So I would, you have to define it.
Right.
You have to define it in some ways. Maybe goes a lot. It's like whether it's in or go up to the line. And if I am trying to get you up to the line, I'll say up, or come up.
Yeah.
That's usually what I say is up to the line.
Come up. Yeah.
But I think as you're coaching people and you really want them to get in the habit of going up to the line, to the kitchen, you say things, figure out a word. Some people I've heard them use red, yellow, wait, red, just watch it.
Safe word.
Like something like that.
One of the things that I've done that's kind of funny, which I think people make fun of, but I think it's hilarious, is when I am going to hit a lob, I go lob.
For everybody on the court.
So they all know it's coming.
And by the way, not shocking.
Yeah. Anyway.
Wait, Natalie's lobbing? No.
Hey, my lobs are effective. I paint the lines.
She does.
Anyway.
She does sometimes.
Okay.
But I think that is good, but I think we were coaching, I think this came up, and I said, try another word other than lob so the other players don't know that you're going to lob.
Yeah.
So maybe like, I don't know, go up or something. So they don't know what that actually means, but you and your partner know.
Right.
I mean, even if you wanted it.
Again,
it's
just dialogue.
It's important, especially if people get confused, and I think correctly, the middle is part of that. So just as an answer and as kind of a tip, a lot of people think about respect the X, which is the angle at which the ball is approaching. So if the angle of the ball is coming from one cross court to the other cross court, then it should be the person in the other cross court's ball. But there are some steeper angles. I guess that's the right word. So where it's more narrow angles.
Right.
Where if somebody's has been taken wide,
right,
and then the ball is there, really shadowing the ball and covering is an important thing to accomplish. So maybe that's something you say, and you can make mistakes once or twice. It doesn't matter. But just, you don't want it to be like a 4-point thing that happens. Right. Because as I would tell anybody if I'm coaching, if it's working, keep doing it.
For sure.
If they're confused, keep doing it. One of the things Annalie Waters just said was, I check to see if they're fighting over it. And then she keeps, agitating, which I could actually see that working.
I can see that agitation.
And I can see it working where if we don't make it a point, because I think when we first started playing, it was pretty like I could read what you were going to do, or I thought I knew what you were going to do. And now that the game's starting to evolve up to a higher level, communication is really much more important. And so even going back and saying that's either, knowing your opponent's weakness,
right,
going back and saying weak, or just say, man, really stay away from that forehand.
Yeah, because sometimes
that kind of thing.
Something else, and this is not really, I don't know if this answers the question, but sometimes like you'll be out there and you'll be like, oh, did you notice that so-and-so is a lefty? And you're like, oh, I didn't even notice.
I know.
So maybe, that's something to think about, because sometimes like you think about, oh, you're like, we play with our friend,
a couple of lefties.
Fletch, and she's like got an awesome forehand, but her forehand is everybody's backhand. So it's like, oh shoot, you think you're gonna hit a winner, and
especially if they're stacking, which is a whole nother
but anyway,
another way to deal with it. So I like the you me, but also you set parameters so you're not really just always going you me, which seems,
or you say like for example, if you say like if I'm on the left side of the court and my forehand is in the middle, I will know to take more forehand, so I'll cover the court. And one thing that I will say, and this keeps coming up, is people, and you and producer Cassie, you even asked me the question about like your box versus your opponent's box. There is no box. That center line doesn't exist. You can start on that side, but you can straddle that line. You can go over it. I don't know why I choose the word straddle, but oh my God. Anywho.
I have no idea what she's talking about, Mom.
Okay. All right. Are we?
No,
did
but
we
I
beat
think
that to
just,
death?
I know I like that.
Yeah.
No, I think it's a common, and I get asked it. It's really these questions.
I know
are always the same one, so it's a good tip.
Yeah.
Which is to have that conversation, but number 2 is to recognize that actually the left side player with the right hand forehand,
right in the middle,
can really cover a lot more ground because that type of momentum is easier for somebody with a forehand to cover past the middle line.
Right.
So to take a step over, especially if somebody's hitting an outside ball that draws you out and you're shadowing the ball, to make sure that line's covered. Conversely, if it's going the other way, so this is where Natalie loses me.
This is where I'm like,
where if I'm on the right side and Natalie's on the left side, if she gets a sideline shot and she has to be pulled wide,
so to
I
my
need
backhand?
to come over
to my backhand,
to your backhand, and I need to come over because the idea is that they're intentionally pulling you wide to open the middle or to see what you're going to do in terms of partner sync, which, by the way, is, as a Duper coach, that's one of the things they look at, the partner sync.
Oh, yeah. She is a certified Duper coach. I do not have those credentials.
Not yet.
It sounds like a lot of work.
That's okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
It was work.
Yeah.
It was tough.
Yeah, no, I know.
It's actually tough. And they go through 8 different categories.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more
it's
to
legit
it.
to get certified or to get that Duper rating.
Yeah, and you got to get the point right, and everybody. And here's the thing: I learned that different geographies, just depending on the player, are different scoring.
Oh,
where
what do you mean?
So I might look at somebody and go, "Oh, here in Arizona, you're a 4-0 Arizona."
Oh,
but you may be in Minnesota or wherever. I'm not picking on NBA, but you might be there 4-5.
Oh,
because we kind of have a lot of players and a lot of high level players. So that's one of the many faults of Duper, and I think they're trying. I'm not trying to pick on them at all.
Yeah.
And I think it's something they recognize too. So I had to do a webinar because everybody was having such difficulty doing the scoring because you had to do it within plus or minus 2.2 points. Mm-hmm. And people were having such a hard time, they had to do webinars, which I really liked about it. And this was a group of really prolific coaches that came together and started realizing, and this is a good topic of conversation, a certified coach and how they are progressing and how they're becoming better and how they're evolving and watching the game evolve so that their coaching is keeping up. Kind of a standard. Yeah. And that was one of the things they talked about, which I really liked. And it has like Zane Nevertill and Colin Johns and some big
so if you're into pickleball, like some people know who pickleball pros are, and we have a friend who who I'm talking about.
Yeah,
our
always talks
buddy.
About him.
I swear to God, if that guy carried a Sharpie around, like he gets so excited to see pickleball pros. I'm like, oh my God. Anyway, okay, all right.
But it's good to learn from them. They're successful.
Yes.
And they're good.
I will say I am a better singles player. That I will say.
And a better single.
Oh,
kidding.
Yeah.
Bad.
No.
That was bad.
No, just because I do it all the time and I feel like that's my sweet spot. I don't know, better. I mean, we both have strengths. God, this is trying to be very political. We both have a lot.
I don't know why she's trying to be political. She can just say what she thinks.
We don't think so. I think you have some shots that are better than me, and I think that's why we work together. Why? What would you say? I don't know.
Okay, I have thought about this.
Oh, okay.
No, only because we have a journey to 5-0, right?
Yes,
and so I'm a lot more analytical about
you are
looking at the process and then actually getting into the Duper coaching rating was interesting. Seeing, so they had like 8 different performance categories, and then there were 3 cause and effect things that you had to look for in each category. So serving, getting up to the line, which is interesting because we're always talking about our Dupers. Everybody is.
Right.
And so what do we say we want to go?
5-0.
5-0.
Right.
What's 5-0? It's Duper.
It's a Duper rating.
Right.
Yes.
So here we go, right? So looking at that for me is if I approach it analytically, I would say that instinctually and the background wise, definitely Natalie is there. I think I get creative, a little bit more creative. And I do think it supports it. And I have to always be mindful that we have to play as a team, which I said I looked at it like that.
Right.
It hurts my feelings when she tells me her favorite is singles. She
No, and I don't.
I'm just kidding. But I do. I'm mindful. It doesn't really hurt my feelings. But sometimes I think if she's playing a lot of singles, it's sometimes the doubles can become a singles match. And you guys have probably seen that. Like if she's playing another tennis player, we're like, can we get in here and play? Yeah. I mean, I've watched that happen, and I feel like I don't know where I'm supposed to be.
Right.
Or
I know.
It's rip, and I'm like, okay, she's playing and then I just kind of just back up and just go, okay, I'm gonna wait until, and they're very obviously going, after a tennis like passing shot or something. But other than that, no. I mean, our dupers are the same, but obviously because we've been playing, I think we make each other better. I'd say
for sure. Yeah.
And I wouldn't really, I'd say there's some things I'm probably better at, some finesse shots, but I mean, for sure, Natalie with an overhead or a forehand or a passing shot or even some deeper balls, she's better. Guys, I've always said this, if Natalie had a little bit more of me and I was a little bit more Natalie, we'd be where we're supposed to be.
We would, like, what's beyond 5-0? Like, come on, right?
But that's what I've said, because I know she, and then I think to counter, just to really figure out how we could be better, when I realized it was just tougher to get up to the line when people could block. Yeah. Remember the first 4 or 5 we played? We're like, what is happening? Yeah. People are hitting our shots.
Yeah, we were like, before we could dominate, and all of a sudden it was like everything that we did that was a weapon was nothing. It meant nothing. It was like, okay, this is the next level.
Right. And so
there's a big jump.
There is, and you can see it. So her participation in the senior pro combine and just playing at higher levels, even when you play mixed, you can see, I think I'm good at resets and stuff, because I know on the right side, I need to slow those down. I think I have fast hands.
You do have very fast hands.
I'm not afraid of the ball at all.
She is not afraid.
From softball, which may not be, and I'm probably doing too much with that. So it's something I need to examine.
She was a cop. So I would say, like, because I did come from a racket sports background, primarily tennis, the shots that come from tennis, those were things that were inherently I could do. So, like, it's funny. You do notice, though, any tennis player can hit I'll tell you, I always laugh whenever you see somebody hit an overhead. If somebody lobs you, for a tennis player all day long, you're hitting an overhead smash, which is the same as a serve in tennis. But when you're playing somebody who maybe doesn't have that background, they're returning the overhead, like they're hitting an overhead and it's coming back, and it's not like, you should put that shot away all day long.
Yeah. So she does say, finish it, end it. And I love the long volleys. I actually really like them. That to me is competitive. Yeah. Whether I win it or not, I just like them. And you're just running around. I think I'm mobile. Actually, we're both pretty mobile. Yeah. But we probably need to stay a little more stable. That's what I would say. Just a little bit more.
And I will say, back to, in defense of, not even in defense, but of playing singles, I would say that probably keeps you, I mean, I know for me, like, fitness wise, it really helps my game. I feel like I can get anywhere on the court, because again, you're basically taking what was once 4 times the size of a pickleball court, and you had to cover that. So now covering a pickleball court seems comparatively a lot easier than a tennis court.
So that was the proper partner positive.
Wow, that was pretty good.
It was honest, though. I mean, I'm always totally being honest. Yeah. Yeah. But, all right. But also, if I'm playing against her, I can figure out how to beat her.
Well, because she knows, and she likes to, like, get under my skin. Like, I try to just not react.
Psyops.
But for what there are some people that they just know how to, like, needle you. And she's really good at that.
Well, no, I just look at, like, here's the thing. I mean, we can have an honest conversation, and I just say, I'm like, Nat, you got to learn to reset at the line, right? Just, like, not show any type of weakness at the line, especially if somebody's ripping at you, right? Especially if you're going to go pro, because it's going to happen, and and people read that, right? And then if they see it, but if I make her, I play my psyops and she gets like she stands there, could care less.
Oh yeah,
it's hilarious actually.
I'm
like, there she is.
She purposely tries to piss me off.
Right. Yeah. And I'm like, why do you wait for me to do that?
I know, it's annoying.
Just do it in the beginning.
I know.
And I'm just doing it like she knows I'm gonna rip it at her, right?
Oh, every time. Yeah, if I'm at the line and we're playing against each other,
I think that's good. Yeah. I want her to, like, I think it's good, because if I'm attacking what I see or things that she could become really strong at. Because she'll also tell you what would I say? If you could be at the line and do a whatever. I tell you, she doesn't even. But I've told her, I'm like, Nat, if you're at the line with your power, awesome. There's just no way. That's all it is. You can't attack those shots. Like, you can't defend some of that stuff. Because you can pretty much place it. Yeah. I mean, and I'll do it. And you have been getting stronger at the line, though.
Yeah. No, I'm just
after all NPL, that drilling, whatever it was, the motivation.
Yeah.
Whatever you find to motivate you, and finally, just it's like a mental thing.
And
you
clicks.
Overcome it.
Yes.
And that's one of the things we've been talking about. Is a mental thing. It's like, why do I have a block there? Because you can tell yourself, the ball's coming too fast, or I don't know. I know she knows. Here's the thing I always say to everybody: if you have time to go, or oh shit. Then you know the ball's coming back.
It's coming fast.
Just get ready for the ball to come back.
Yeah.
It's coming back. Prep your paddle.
Yeah.
And instead it's more like, oh. And then
I say that a lot. She
says, oh, shit.
I go,
so I know she knows.
Yeah.
And I just look at her and I go, it's coming. Get your paddle up.
Yeah.
And and when you do, like, if you just, I don't know if it's the last few. Yeah, it was when we did the women's.
Yeah, I've been
our little league. Yeah. Like you're hanging, you're standing in there. I think you have to be there. Like, I think she gets it now that she gets that she has to right.
Yeah, no, I know.
I mean,
I know. Here's the thing. Well, I don't think we ever arrive. Like, there's never the final destination, right?
Yeah,
we're always working, elevating, growing. I mean, I think we do that on the pickleball court. Hopefully we're doing that in life.
Mm-hmm. True.
You never want to be stagnant.
No, but that was good. Yeah. It's an honest assessment. And you have to be self-aware. And it's also good. Like, I can't see myself. I mean, one of the things I do sometimes is come off the back leg a little too much. And she sees it right away. And I can feel it now.
Yes.
Only because it became, she's like, you're on your back leg. I mean, initially I had no idea.
Yeah.
And then I'd be on the back leg, and I could confirm that's the issue. And I'll go, dang it, I'm off the back leg, right? So
Yeah.
It's good.
Because it's falling back versus stepping forward. Anyway, all right.
The weight transfer isn't there.
Yes.
It's all arm. It's all arm, just so you know.
Falling
just
back.
So you know.
Yes. Yeah.
I'll tell you what I think is funny.
I'm sure it's at my expense. I can guarantee it.
Well, it is.
Of course it is. Why would it not be?
It is.
Okay. All right.
It's
okay.
Let's just have fun. It's funny.
Yes.
It's not rude.
No.
So
okay.
Sometimes we're salsa dancing and a pickleball game
Wait, what?
A pickleball game breaks out. I mean, you guys always just start dancing. If the music's on, all of a sudden you look over and there's some dancing going on.
Yeah.
Which is pretty funny when there's guys on the court.
It makes them really uncomfortable. And we just don't even. So.
Right. So the dancing. So sometimes I'm like, in the beginning it was, then I'm like, we're playing pickleball. So we're either salsa dancing and a pickleball game breaks out. I think it's more like that.
Oh.
It's like the little version of
So here's what's in defense of that or whatever. I love to play with music. I mean, obviously when you're competing in tournaments, that's different, but when we're practicing warming up, if I don't have music, like I feel like I can't perform at all. And so but it motivates me, and so I like and I feel like I can't. It's involuntary. My hips just start moving.
Dancing, and sometimes people look and go,
what is happening?
So
what is happening?
It's so funny. That makes me laugh. I don't remember. Wasn't there long volley? It was something recently. And then everybody just starts laughing.
Oh, we start cracking
it's like this huge volley. Like we were trying to put a ball away, and they're get it.
Yeah, like, and it's like lobs and overheads, and like
we're chasing
balls down.
And a dink, we run up there and get it. And so it was just, and you just start laughing. It's just like a tension breaker or something. I don't know. We just started laughing and couldn't stop laughing.
Well, and I know, and this happens to me with actually a fair amount of frequency lately, where I just whiff the ball entirely. Like I don't even make contact. Like I think that I'm gonna hit the best shot ever, and it's like if my paddle, I think my paddle has a hole sometimes because I'm like, what? How did that happen? I'm like, is it a wind gust? Like whatever. Do I need glasses? Like I don't know. That happens. That's funny.
And I do break out laughing. Like I think
you do.
People watch it and go, "Why are you laughing?" Because she whiffed, and I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because it just never happens. Because it's just like she has that intensity, you know, or me too. I mean, I've done it too. And then you're just like, you know, you're just going to kill it and you completely miss.
Yes.
That is freaking hilarious.
That is funny. And you almost, because you almost like hurt yourself.
I know. So that is funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is pretty funny.
If like an overhead, I know, like I'll be ready and I'll be pointing and it's like, I know I'm going to just end it.
Yeah.
And then it's like, the ball bounces and I follow through and I'm like, where's the ball? And behind me.
I just laugh.
I know.
And I think
I know.
And it's funny because some people go, look at her laughing at you. I'm like, well, yeah, it's funny.
It is funny.
What are you going to do?
You have to be self-deprecating. I mean, I know we play with
somebody did that the other day and laughed, and I just started laughing at her because she just goes, oh my God. Oh, because it was an out ball that literally went, I don't remember how far it went. And she just started laughing. And I'm like, hey.
Yeah.
She has a girl after my own heart.
Yeah.
Laughing so
you
hard
have to be able to.
Well, you make, you know, silly mistakes, but it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Is that it? Is that the funny?
I don't know. Is that the funniest thing?
I feel like it's the funniest thing.
I mean, that's funny. I don't know.
Somebody fell on the court, and I thought that was pretty dang funny. Like,
what about?
I'm like, what are you doing?
So the other day, and this has happened a few times, and I feel bad because like I never mean to hurt anybody right on the court. Like I am a gentle soul.
No.
No. So the other day. Yeah.
End it.
So the other day I'm playing, and I play with a group of guys, right? I play singles with a group of guys. And this one guy in particular, he knows who he is. He's a big guy, like 6'5", 6'6", big guy. And I hit the ball, and I was hitting at him because it was like I knew he could reach the ball because his wingspan is like the width of the court. So I just hit it right at him. And it ricocheted right off his paddle, and it went into his eye. And I had flashbacks to when it happened to me.
Right.
And I was like, oh my God. And he's a big guy. And all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, he was gonna. And he was like, oh, and he was freaking out. And I thought, oh no. He has a black eye. He has a black eye.
Yeah, because that rip.
Yeah.
The funny thing, here's what's funny.
And
Not
I gave
funny,
you
but
a black eye.
You gave me a black eye.
I gave you a black eye.
It was a
ricochet. That's what it usually is.
And it just shot right.
Yeah.
And I had glasses on.
Yeah. And
so it actually just pushed the glasses into my nose.
Yeah.
It's not a funny, but it's awkward, is when your ball hits like private parts.
Oh, private
like
parts?
Like on guys and stuff.
Oh.
Now with the girls, we say, you know, funny things.
Yeah.
I mean, probably not fit for a podcast. But with guys, when they hit certain parts,
I've seen it. Like, just like the tip.
That one.
Apparently that hurts.
And then like the other, because then you go home and you have like bruises in the way. You're like, what? How did that happen?
I know.
But,
I know.
I mean, it's awkward. I don't really laugh, but sometimes
Speaking
the guys go, oh.
Look at that right there. That's from pickleball.
A ball hitting you?
Yeah.
Well,
anyway.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I don't know if
you can see that.
So we're laughing at people's pain, but we never really want to harm anybody.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. That's funny. Hey, Nala Pickleball Tribe, if you like what you saw, hit like and subscribe.